George accidentally fell into a deep hole, and during his fall, he hit the walls of the hole and lost consciousness. Soon after, Daddy Pig noticed that George was missing. So, Peppa and the family went to the top of the hill and called out loudly for George, but there was no answer. Meanwhile, the police were searching through the forest. They couldn't find George. After a while, George realized he was trapped in a sewer. Poor George was terrified, and just then, heavy rain began to pour from the sky. The cold rainwater rose to George's waist, and he started shivering from the cold. At the same time, Miss Rabbit arrived at the hilltop to begin her work. Suddenly, she heard crying and spotted George in the sewer. She immediately called emergency services and informed Peppa's family that George had been found. While waiting for rescue, Miss Rabbit threw George some food and a blanket. It wasn't until the rescue team arrived that George's fear began to ease. Mr. Bull arrived with a crane, planning to lower it into the hole so George could be safely lifted out. But unfortunately, the crane could only reach just above George's head, so Mr. Bull had to come up with a new plan. Meanwhile, the rain had softened the ground, creating a risk of collapse, which could have trapped George underground forever. Mr. Bull tied a rope to the crane and finally made contact with George. However, when George was being lifted, the rope suddenly snapped, causing a moment of panic. But George's crying reassured everyone, and Mr. Bull found a bigger crane, with Peppa's family watching. George was finally rescued safely. After the rescue, Mr. Bull was arrested, as it turned out he had built the sewer illegally in that location, nearly causing George to disappear forever.